I sat in the defendant's chair, the weight of stars on my shoulders feeling like anchors dragging me into an abyss I never deserved. My father's voice echoed from a memory that wasn't even mine anymore. "Stay quiet, Athena. Let the men speak." But when the judge's gavel cracked like a rifle shot, intoning Colonel Greene, "You are sentenced to life without parole," I knew those words had sealed not just a body, but a soul, my soul, in chains. The irony burned hotter than the desert sun. I'd never felt through these borrowed eyes. I'd always been the good daughter, the one who nodded and smiled while Dad climbed the ranks in the Pentagon's shadow games. Raised on Virginia hunt country barbecues and whispers of classified ops over bourbon neat, I learned early that silence was currency in our world. But that currency had been stolen from me, along with everything else, in a swap so profane it made Frankenstein look like a fairy tale. It started 6 months earlier, in the humid haze of a D.C. summer. I was Athena Hayes, 32, a mid-level analyst at a think tank feeding intel to the Joint Chiefs. Sharp suits, sharper spreadsheets, and a life scripted like a Tom Clancy novel, minus the explosions. Dad, General Harlan Hayes, was my North Star, the man who'd pinned my first merit badge when I was 8, whispering that power wasn't in the uniform but in the secrets it hid. "We protect the machine, kiddo," he'd say, clinking his glass against mine at our Alexandria brownstone. Mom had died young, some vague accident overseas, leaving us to our rituals, Sunday roasts, strategy board games that doubled as war simulations. That July, the machine glitched. I stumbled on a file buried in a routine audit, Project Echo, a black-budget neural transfer program. DARPA's wet dream, swapping minds like swapping SIM cards, all to keep assets alive in the field. But the logs I cracked showed more. Colonel Victoria Greene, a rising star in Cyber Command, had greenlit unauthorized swaps on whistleblowers. Dissidents vanishing into the minds of dead soldiers, their consciousnesses wiped or archived like old hard drives. And the crown jewel? Greene herself, prepping a swap to dodge an impending war crimes probe, torture sites in Yemen, drone strikes gone rogue, the kind of sins that toppled careers faster than IEDs. I should have walked away. Dad's voice in my head, "Stay quiet." But fury's a hell of a motivator. I copied the drive, emailed an anonymous tip to a Senate Oversight Committee. Thought I was the hero in my own script. Next morning, I woke up choking on cigar smoke and the metallic tang of aftershave, none of it mine. Disoriented, I stumbled to a mirror in what looked like a Georgetown penthouse. Staring back was Colonel Greene's face, severe jaw, salt and pepper bob, eyes like chipped flint. 54. Battle-hardened, the woman whose atrocities I'd just exposed. My hands, her hands, trembled as I touched the glass. "What the fuck?" The voice was gravelly, laced with decades of command. I ripped off the silk robe. Saw scars from deployments I never served, shrapnel pocks across ribs, a hysterectomy scar low on the belly. This wasn't a dream. This was exile. Panic clawed at my throat. I fumbled for a phone, hers, passcode muscle-memoried into fingers that weren't mine. Texts from subordinates. "Ma'am, the Yemen brief is locked down. Calls from lawyers. Indictment sealed. Trial in 90 days. And one from an unknown burner. Hayes residence. She's secure. Payment wired." Dad. It hit like a gut punch. I drove, God. The muscle memory of a Humvee jockey made that Audi purr to our brownstone. The door clicked open with my old key. but inside, I lounged on the couch, flipping through my Netflix queue like nothing had happened. My face, my freckles, my messy ponytail. But the smile was all wrong, predatory, like a wolf in sheep's clothing. Athena? The voice was mine, but the lilt was off. Too clipped, too victorious. Colonel Greene, wearing me like a prom dress. I lunged, but my body was quicker, trained in yoga and restraint.
Easy.
Colonel.
Or should I say?
Hayes, Harlan's little girl, playing dress-up in the big leagues. She sipped my chamomile tea, legs crossed in my favorite jeans. Your father's a patriot. He saw the bigger picture. You were. Collateral. Betrayal isn't a word, it's a blade twisting slow. Dad walked in then, tie loosened, smelling of scotch. His eyes flickered, recognition?
Pity?
Victoria, he said, nodding to the imposter.
Then to me,
in this stolen shell, you weren't supposed to dig. Athena. Stay quiet. Let the men. Women, I snarled, voice cracking like Greene's under stress. Let the women speak.
Dad.
What did you do? He sighed, the weight of stars on his own shoulders sagging. Greene's crimes. They trace back to ops I authorized. If she falls, we all do. The swap was clean, Echo Tech. Off books. You take her heat. She takes your life. Fresh start. Protected. Protected. Like stuffing a canary in a coal mine and calling it safe. Greene in my skin laughed. Low and throaty. Think of it as penance. Darling. You exposed nothing. Now you're the monster. Harlan gets his promotion. I get absolution. And you. You get to rot as the witch they burn. The trial blurred into a nightmare montage. Arraigned as Colonel Victoria Greene, I pleaded not guilty. But the evidence was ironclad, my old emails twisted into confessions. Witnesses coached to see me as the devil. Dad testified. Voice steady. The colonel was under immense pressure. Never once breaking. Never once calling me daughter. In the holding cell, I scratched pleas into the walls with a contraband nail. Athena Hayes. Not her. Sentencing day. The gallery packed with brass and reporters. Vultures circling a carcass. That's when the gavel fell, and the world I'd known shattered into irretrievable shards. Life. No parole. Transported to Leavenworth. Supermax for military scum. My new reality settled like Kansas dust, gray walls. Fluorescent hum. The clang of gates sealing fates. But Athena Hayes doesn't break. She adapts. In Greene's body, I had her Rolodex of secrets, mental post-its from a lifetime of double deals. Buried in her hippocampus, access codes to shadow servers, names of bribed senators, the kill switch for Project Echo. And deeper, the secret she'd buried to climb, her own daughter, lost to a training accident she'd ordered covered up. Collateral, just like me.
Prison sharpened me.
I traded cigarettes for alliances, Greene's rep buying loyalty from lifers who'd serve under her. The colonel's got balls, one said, slipping me a burner phone. First call, an old contact from my analyst days. A hacker named Jax. Buried in Silicon Alley. Athena? Holy shit. The rumors. Body swap? That's conspiracy catnip. Truth, I growled. And I need out. Echo reversal protocol exists. Weeks of whispers.
Smuggled drives.
Jax confirmed the swap wasn't permanent. A neural anchor, reversible with the right jolt. But Greene had the device, hidden in my old life. Dad's involvement? Deeper than I thought. He'd greenlit the whole op, not just to save his ass, but to bury Mom's death. Turns out, Greene had pulled the trigger on that accident, a loose end from a botched rendition. Rage crystallized into plan. Escape Leavenworth? Suicide mission. Better, turn the machine against them. I fed Jax crumbs, server IPs. Guard rotas. Outside, protests brewed. My anonymous tip had leaked. Twisted into Greene's ghost, viral on TikTok and Fox News alike. Feminists rallied for the framed colonel. MAGA diehards decried deep state swaps. Controversy my smokescreen. 3 months in, the riot hit, staged. My whispers fueling the fuse. Guards down. I slipped into the warden's office. Jax's drone dropping a package. EMP grenade. Jury-rigged scanner. It pinged my neural signature, broadcasting a distress to the anchor. If Greene felt it, she'd come running or send Dad. She did neither. Dad arrived solo, face ashen under the floodlights, tactical vest straining over his gut. Athena, he hissed, cuffing me for transfer. Lies. Of course, straight to a black site for rehab. The chopper ride was silent, rotors chopping the night like my thoughts. Landed at a nondescript hangar outside Quantico, where Mom's ghost lingered in every shadow. Inside, the echo chamber, humming servers, a dentist's chair wired to hell. Greene waited, in my body, pristine as ever. Miss me, Colonel? Dad strapped me down, eyes averted. It's for the best.
Kiddo.
Reversal means you testify. Everything unravels. Everything. I spat. Like Mom? You let her kill Mom to cover your clusterfuck in Kabul. His flinch was confession. Greene smirked, initiating the sequence. Lights dimmed. Needles pricked, then alarms wailed. Jax's hack, overload. The chamber sparked, minds fracturing like glass. I woke in limbo, voices overlapping mine, hers, echoes of screams. But Will pulled me through. When clarity hit, I was back, my body, my hands flexing free. Greene thrashed in hers, neural feedback frying synapses. Dad slumped, heart attack from the surge, or guilt, take your pick. I stood, whole, the chamber's glow fading. Greene gasped, you can't. The machine breaks both ways, I said, yanking the plug. Her eyes rolled back. Permanent blackout. Mercy or justice? The line blurred in that moment. But as sirens wailed, feds closing in, I slipped Jax's exit. Forged ID. Greene's offshore accounts wired clean. Vanished into the Rockies. A cabin stocked for off-grid life. The news exploded. Greene's suicide. Hayes' death in custody. Project Echo scrubbed. Whistleblower mythologized. Debates raging. Was it deep state magic or mass delusion? Hero or hoax? I sip black coffee now, watching snow bury the world outside.
Free.
But hollow. Dad's ghost whispers still, stay quiet. But revenge isn't silence, it's the echo that lingers, twisting truth until no one knows who wore the stars. The cabin's isolation was a double-edged axe, sharp relief from the world's grind, but it carved doubts into my bones like frostbite. 5 months post-swap, post-reversal, and the itch for more clawed at me. Greene was gone, a vegetable in some VA black hole. But the machine she'd wielded? Dad's legacy? Those tentacles reached deeper than one fried neural net. I'd avenged Mom. Sure. But the betrayal festered. A low-grade fever demanding antibiotics of action. Jax checked in weekly, his Brooklyn drawl crackling over encrypted sat phone. Athena, you're a ghost story now. Podcasts calling you the body thief. Feds got egg on their face, resigned oversight chair. Hearings in the House. But whispers say the program's not dead.
Just.
Relocated. To where the real power slept, private sector spooks. Silicon Valley warlords dressing wolf in sheep's wool. I paced the pine floors. Greene's old combat boots, kept his trophy, thudding like a war drum. My analyst brain dusted off, pieced it. Echo wasn't DARPA's baby alone. Funding traced to Helix Dynamics, a McLean outfit run by Elena Voss, Greene's protege. Dad's golf buddy. Voss. 48. Venture capital vixen with a TED Talk on neural equity and board seats at every AI ethics farce. The kind of woman who brunched with senators while her labs cloned consciousness for profit. Secret buried. Voss had lost her own kid to a school shooting, Columbine Echo. But in a Colorado charter. Grief twisted to genius. Fund Echo not for war, but resurrection. Swap dying minds into fresh shells. Cheat death for the elite. But Greene? She'd perverted it. Using swaps to retire threats like me. And the crime I'd borne? Not just her war sins. But Voss's cover-up. The shooting wasn't random. Her kid shooter was a test subject. Mine swapped post-mortem to silence accomplices. I took that fall, too. Indirectly, my tip exposed a thread that unraveled to Voss's doorstep. Controversy brewed in my veins. Expose her. And I risk the reversal's fragility. Neural anchors leave scars. Echoes of the other self that could glitch me back to Greene's rage.
Stay hidden.
And the machine grinds on, swapping souls like stocks. Dad's voice. Let the men speak. But Voss was no man. She was the matriarch of monsters. Decision point. Moonlit and merciless. I booked a red-eye to Denver under alias Tessa Reed. Greene's black card maxed for untraceable. The flight hummed with irony. First class. Champagne flute in hand that once authorized drone strikes. Landed in crisp mountain air. Rented a Subaru that screamed, unassuming tourist. Helix's facade? A wellness retreat. All glass and green roofs. Yoga mats masking server farms. Infiltrating was child's play. Greene's clearances lingered in my synapses like bad tattoos. Posed as a grieving widow. Consulting on neural therapy. Voss spotted hook. Line. Her eyes lit with that predatory gleam over kale smoothies. Loss reshapes us. Tessa. Echo. It's rebirth. Rebirth my ass. Late nights. I ghosted the labs. White coats shuffling data on volunteers, homeless vets, junkies. Consciousnesses harvested for the highest bidder. One file gutted me. Project Phoenix. Voss's endgame. Swap billionaires into Olympian bodies. Engineered for longevity. Buried deeper, my mom's neural scan. Archived pre-death. Greene hadn't just killed her. Voss had digitized her. Prepping a resurrection as leverage over Dad.
Rage.
That old friend. Plotted the play. Controversial call. Not burn it down. But hijack. Use Echo to swap Voss into a shell of her choosing, her dead son's body. Cloned and waiting in cryo. Force her to live the grief she'd outsourced. Poetic? Twisted? The forums would feast. ethicists decrying soul rape, transhumanists cheering justice evolution. Jax rigged the breach. Insider. A tech named Ravi. Disillusioned after his sister's swap went south. Woke in a vegetative host. Trapped screaming silent. We synced for the gala. Helix's annual schmooze fest. Black tie in the Rockies. Caviar dreams amid avalanche risks. I slinked in as Colonel Reed, medals gleaming. Voss's curiosity piqued. Victoria, rumors of your
Indisposition.
overstated. I purred. Clinking flutes. Like your ethics. Her laugh tinkled like breaking ice.
Touché.
Harlan spoke highly before his passing. Dad. The mention stung. But I filed it, grief or guilt. Over dinner, wagyu that tasted like ash, I probed. Phoenix sounds divine. Ever think of personal use?
4.
Family, eyes shadowed. Every day. But some doors stay shut. Midnight. The lab access. Ravi waited, sweating bullets. This is insane. Athena. If it glitches. Won't.
Lie.
But conviction sells. Strapped Voss, drugged via spiked scotch, into the chair. Her son's clone thawed. Pale and perfect. 16 forever. Sequence initiated. My heart jackhammering. Echo hummed. Lights pulsed, then Voss's scream. Raw as birthing pains. She woke in the boy's body. Small hands flailing. What? My voice.
You bitch.
I'll live it, I whispered, broadcasting the feed to Jax. Feel the hole you punched in the world. Ravi uploaded the confession, her role in the shooting cover. Mom's murder. Echo's slave trade. Leaked to WikiLeaks. Timed for morning rush. Sirens wailed as I bolted. Subaru chewing gravel. But Voss, in her son's shell, had one last play. A hidden failsafe. Neural bomb. Rigged to my anchor. Mid-escape. Pain lanced my skull, Greene's memories flooding. Atrocities I'd suppressed. Blood on hands not mine. Car swerved. Cliff edge looming. Twist of will yanked me back. Crashed soft into snowbank. Alive but unraveling. Jax extracted. Medevac to a Reno safe house. Voss captured. Trial fodder. But the bomb left scars, nights I wake as her. Or him. Ghosts warring in my wiring.
Now.
Stitched back in Boulder coffee shops. I watched the fallout. Helix shuddered. Voss's rebirth, the tabloid scandal of the decade. PETA protests cloning. Vatican thundering on souls. Elon tweeting bold move. Cotton. Debates rage. Vigilante or villain. I saved dozens from the swap mill. But birthed a boy from hell. Dad's silence echoes. Was I quiet enough? The itch persists. Another file. Another betrayal. The machine never dies. It just swaps drivers. Boulder's liberal veneer cracked under my boots like thin ice, craft brews and climbing walls hiding the same old power plays. 6 weeks post-Voss. My neural glitches amped to migraines. Greenes were ghosts whispering kill orders in my sleep. Therapy? Laughable. A VA shrink would have locked me tighter than Leavenworth. Instead, I self-medicated with black market nootropics and Jax's beta blockers for the brain. The leak had lit the fuse. Congressional probes. Echogate trending with Q-level fever dreams. Helix execs flipping like pancakes. Voss and Supermax. Her resurrected form a sideshow. Boy's body aging wrong. Hormones haywire. Lawyers arguing cruel and unusual. Controversy crested when footage dropped, her pleading in a prepubescent squeak. I'm Elena Voss. This isn't me. Public split, feminists torching misgendered justice, tech bros hailing disruptive accountability. I nursed a flat white in a Pearl Street cafe. Incognito in beanie and aviators. Scrolling the chaos. Hero? Harbinger? But peace? Fleeting as mountain fog. A encrypted ping from Ravi. Loose end. Harlan's ghost file, your mom's scan. Voss didn't archive it alone. Partner, Senator Leland Crow.
Crow.
Dad's puppet master. Silver Fox from Virginia. Chaired armed services. The betrayal deepened. Not just family, but the firmament. Secret. Mom's death wasn't collateral. Crow ordered it. She'd uncovered his slush fund. Echo's seed money laundered through PACs. Swap wasn't protection, it was erasure. Me the patsy to bury her digital ghost. Crime I'd shouldered? Crow's too. Yemen strikes? His bills signed them. Greene the hammer. Dad the nail. I'd confessed in her body to ops he authored. Torture. Black sites. Kids collateral in the crossfire. Decisions loomed. Controversial as hell. Expose Crow. Risk my anchor's collapse? The glitches worsened. Last night. I blacked out carving Yemen maps into my arm. Waking to blood and regret. No choice. Athena Hayes finishes the board. Jack scouted. Crow's compound. Shenandoah Valley estate. All wrought iron and walnut libraries.
Fort Knox light, he said.
But his weakness?
Vanity.
Annual hunt. Patriots retreat. Bigwigs bagging deer for photo ops. I prepped like a op. Greene's old sidearm. Silencer whisper quiet. Neural jammer from Ravi. To shield my glitches. Drove east in a rust bucket Chevy. Windows down. Dylan crooning the times they are a-changin', like prophecy. Valley air thick with leaf rot and lies. Infiltrated as catering grunt, fake ID. Tray of deviled eggs masking the jammer. Crow held court by the fire pit. Ruddy-cheeked in tweed. Regaling with the good old Cold War days. Spotted me Greene's echo, eyes narrowing. Victoria? Heard you were. Indisposed. Resilient.
Senator.
Voice steady. Heart not. Over venison. I probed. Echoes fallout messy. Harlan paid dear. His chuckle boomed. Harlan was soft. You?
Steel.
Voss was the glitch. We reboot.
We.
The web tightened. Post-dinner. I tailed him to the study, bookshelves groaning with first editions. Safe humming behind Faulkner. Cracked it with Greene's old combo. Muscle memory trader. Inside, Mom's skin drive. Labeled Asset H13. And Crow's ledger. Swaps for favors. Consciousnesses auctioned to Saudis. Russians. The pinnacle? His own plan. Swap into a younger clone. Courtesy of Helix remnants. To dodge Parkinson's and scandals. Rage crested. Controversial calculus. Kill him. And I'm the monster Greene was. Swap him instead. Into a deer's body?
No.
Too cartoon. Into his own shame. The shooter's mind. Archived from the school massacre. Force Crow to wear the sin he buried. Ethics?
Fucked.
But justice bends for the bent. Ravi remote hacked a portable echo unit from the estate. Crow collected toys. Midnight. In the stables. I ambushed. Chloroform rag. Dragged to the harness room. Strapped him. Jammer humming against my flares. He woke sputtering. Greene? You traitorous. Athena Hayes, I said. Mask off. You're loose end. Mom said hello. Recognition dawned. Horror blooming. Harlan's girl? The swap was Mercy. Your mother knew too much. Mercy? I loaded the drive. Shooter's neural ghost sinking. Like the kids in that classroom? Or the villages you vaporized? Sequence fired. Crow thrashed. Voice warping to the shooter's twang. Midwest flat.
Broken.
No, God. The gun. The screams. Echoes of Voss. But rawer. His empire crumbling in real time. I broadcast it live. Jax's stream to the dark web. Timed for CNN pickup.
Crow.
In the killer's mind, confessing. Bills. Bribes. Bodies. Sirens distant. I torched the study. Drive melting in flames. Fled south. Shenandoah swallowing my tracks. Glitches hit hard on the interstate. Visions of deer eyes. Crow's face morphing to the boy he doomed. Pulled over an arrest stop. Puking bile and bourbon. Was this revenge or recursion? Swapping sins like trading cards. Me the dealer now. Dawn broke over Roanoke. News alerts pinging. Senator Crow meltdown. Mental break or hoax. Clips viral. Him ranting in that alien voice. Secret Service scrambling. Resigned by noon. Probes launching.
Mom's scan?
Erased. Her piece bought with fire. But the twist gnawed. In the safe. A subfile. Dad's letter to Crow. Protect Athena. The swap saves her from the truth. She's not mine. Blood ran cold. Not blood?
Adopted?
Or worse, cloned from Mom's early scan. Echo's first bastard child? Doubt seated. I pushed west. The road a vein to vengeance's heart. Silence shattered. Now the echoes screamed. The revelation was a landmine under my ribs. Dad's letter. Glimpsed in flames, but seared into memory. She's Echo's 0 point. Leland. Harlan's experiment. Swap her out before she glitches fatal. Not daughter, but prototype. Mom's consciousness iterated into flesh. Dad the incubator. Crow the financier. The betrayal wasn't personal, it was programmatic. I'd avenged ghosts.
But mine?
Fabricated. A neural not ready to unravel. Glitches escalated to seizures. Greene's war cries blending with Crow's confessions. The shooter's sobs a cacophony in my cortex. Jax urged retreat. Bunker down. Athena. You've toppled gods, Voss.
Crow.
Greene's empire in ashes. But gods breed pantheons. Last thread. The architect.
Dr.
Elias Thorne. Echo's creator. Holed up in a Monterey lab. Post-retirement haze of golf and grants. Decision. Darkest yet. Confront or consume. Controversial apex. Swap into Thorn. Live his regrets from inside. Not kill, but inhabit. Force the father of the machine to where his children screams. Ethics? Annihilated. But in America's funhouse mirror, where billionaires buy elections and AIs dream electric sheep. Who judges the judge? Road-tripped Pacific Coast Highway. Salt wind whipping doubts. Monterey's fog clung like guilt. Thorne's cliffside hacienda a billionaire's folly. Solar panels. Infinity pool overlooking whale migrations. Infiltrated as journalist. Profiling neural pioneers. He bought the shtick. 78 but spry. Eyes twinkling over Chardonnay. Echo? My folly.
Dear.
Meant to heal Alzheimer's. Paralysis. War perverts all. Over sunset scallops. Truths trickled. Harlan? Ambitious pup. Your mother, brilliant, but volatile. Cloned you from her scan.
Yes.
Stability test. But the anchors. They echo eternally. Eternally. My hand shook pouring wine. And the reversal?
Permanent.
His sigh ocean deep.
No. Child.
You're a mosaic now, Athena. Victoria. Echoes of the damned. To end it. Full wipe.
Wipe.
The word hung,
Tempting.
but rage rebelled. Night fell. I slipped the sedative into his nightcap. Dragged him to the basement lab, echoes cradle. Dusty consoles humming dormant. Strapped him. My hand steady as Greene's in command. Thorn woke lucid. Athena. The glitch child. You'll damn us both. Already damned, I said.
Cueing the swap.
Not to the shooter, no poetry left. To Mom. Her archived scan. Pulled from Crow's ruins. Let him live her death. The rendition. The bullet. Feel what you birthed. Sequence surged. Thorn convulsing. Voice shifting to Mom's lilt. Soft Virginia drawl. Elias? The van dark. They grabbed. Her memories flooded mine too. Anchor resonating. Cobble nights. Dad's betrayal. The clone's cold womb. I hit record. Jack's streaming global. Thorn / Mom confessed. Echoes sins. Clones for congressmen. Swaps for spies. Wipe it, he gasped. And the echo. Climax crested. I initiated the master protocol. Full reversal cascade. Light strobed. Minds merging in a symphony of screams. I saw it all. Greene's kills. Boss's grief. Crow's deals. Thorn's hubris. Mom's end. And me, not victim, but virus. The swap that spread. When the hum died, Thorn slumped, eyes vacant, wipe complete. A vegetable echoing silence. I stood amid sparks. Body mine but fractured. Glitches quelled in the purge. Mom's voice lingered. Forgiving? Accusing? Quiet now. Athena. Let the echoes speak. Feds swarmed at dawn. But I was smoke, Jax's subchaser offshore. Vanishing into Baja's blue. News Armageddon. Echo apocalypse. Thorn's suicide rant toppling agencies. Bills banning neural tech. Philosophers pondering soul sovereignty. Debates eternal. My swap's salvation or slaughter. I freed the trapped. Buried the beasts, but birthed a precedent. Elites eyeing counterswaps.
Now.
A cantina in Cabo. Tequila burning true. I watch sunsets paint the sea red.
Oh, no.
Free, debatable. Dad's ghost fades, not monster, but man trapped in the machine. Revenge's end? A mirror, reflecting the controversial core in America's dark heart. We all swap pieces of ourselves to survive. Heroic? Heinous? You decide. The gavel falls silent. The echoes argue on. Twists reversal. In the final purge. A subroutine activated. My core skin uploading. Athena 2.0 dispersing to the cloud. Am I here? Flesh and salt? Or out there? Waiting to swap back in? The truth inverts. I didn't end the machine. I became it.